Coming up, a controversial modification for the KTM. I've done quite a bit of stuff on this lately, over the winter. I've not been riding it. I shall go through everything with you, but in the meantime I'm going to put some stickers on this. As per the previous clip, you can probably guess where this is going to be going in this video. With it being a controversial mod, I've been doing quite a bit of research online. Some people like it, some people don't like it. But yeah, with that being said, it is the high fender modification. Now, I am still waiting on some parts, specifically the fork uprights. Now, them fork uprights come off a 790, 890 Adventure. There is quite a delay at the moment on shipping, so hopefully, fingers crossed, they'll be with me this week, more than likely the end of the week. But for now, I've got the front fender and the bracket, the bolts that I need to put all that together. Now, I'll put all of the parts in a description and links to them. Can't quite remember, I think it's an SX F line front fender, and then the bracket is from High Court Modifications, and I dealt with a guy called Eddie. It's based in Berlin, and he is brilliant at providing customer support. I mean, I had a few questions for him and he got back to me via email pretty much instantly every time I got in touch with him. Now, there was one issue with this bracket and my current bike setup, because everything that he's made is designed for like a standard bike almost. Now, as you can see on mine, I have the one piece or two piece crash bars made by Heed, which would ultimately mean that you need longer spacers. I never mentioned this to him, but after I asked the question as to whether or not I need to make any modifications to it, he said, oh, if you'd have told me at the time, I'd have sent you through some different spacers, which I thought was awesome. That being said, I had no problems with sorting out my own spacers and buying some longer bolts to go with it, which turned out to be the easiest option really. So yeah, I'm going to crack into it. We will get this low fender off first and the windbreaker from on the underside, just up there, and we'll get this fender fitted, and then hopefully by the time this video goes out, the fork uprights will be done as well. So for this specific job, hopefully I've got everything that I need here. You can forget about these four, they're the modifications that I've made, but for this specific high fender you will need some larger penny washers, because just on the underside here you can see the holes, all the cutouts are quite large. So yeah, you'll need a 1/4 inch drive. I've used a 1/2 inch drive because I've got these two attachments here. They are a T30 and it's a Allen head 4mm socket, and then I've got a T25 attached to my 1/4 inch as well with a small extension. The two large spacers for the bracket, the two smaller spacers for the bracket itself, and then these are the clips which hold the brake lines to the original low fender. let's try and do this with the camera in a way. So for this, there's 2 screws, one up here and one here, and they are a T25 Torx bit. But you do need something to get up and in there. Let's go with this one first, because it is quite a tight fit. That's one. Nope, not in there yet. Where you at? Come on, there you go. So that is that. Peace out. Keep hold of all the bits, just on the off chance that you don't like it. Now the next bit, same area, 2 screws just up here, 1 and 2. These hold the brake lines and the horn in place. Now an FYI, you can probably already tell these are quite loose, and that's because I've previously had them off the bike. Now you don't need to keep any of these bolts. Oh, saved it with my face. You don't need to keep any of these bolts because they're not getting used, they're getting replaced with the bolts for the bracket from Heist Corp Modifications. One of a note is with this, it was about €79 posted to the UK, which I thought was quite good. So it goes, hold it at the bottom there, it goes that way around and it fits up there. So you'll have a spacer in between here, and then with the way that I've got it to get around my crash bars, I've got another spacer here on the back side. One note to make with this as well, to fix it to the bike you use these 2 holes on the wings, the end of the wings, and these 2 countersunk holes here, they're not threaded. And then with the original bolts, these spacers are shorter than the other 2, and they go at the back. So as you can see here, let me put that bracket down, it's got a countersunk bolt with a spacer, and then you've got an Allen head bolt with a spacer, and you can see the difference there. Back, front. So the first ones I'm going to fit are the smaller ones, which go towards the back. They go on the little hole on the wing. I'll put the bolt through and the washer, and these go just in these edges up here on the outside fitments of the lower yoke. Same again with the opposite side. Bolt, washer, spacer, or bolt, washer, bracket, spacer, and leave them fairly loose for now, so you've got a bit more play in it. Next ones are your countersunk bolts with your spacer. which go on the front. Now these you have to place behind the pipework, and they can be quite tricky to get in. So we'll put that in there. Sorry if the view is terrible at the moment, I'm trying to do it as best I can for you. So we'll get them in the hole, and then without forgetting your horn, put that in place, and they will just screw right in. Same again for the other side. So as standard, with everything in place, I haven't tightened it up, I don't want to bore you too much. Again, here's your bracket. 2 countersunks with the long spacers at the front. 2 Allen head bolts with the short spacers at the back. Now my horn cables just ran over the top of the bracket, connected. That's all tight. That's all tight in there. It is solid. Now if you wanted to put some Loctite on, you can. I haven't bothered. They're pretty tight at the moment, and I'll probably give them a check after its first ride. I don't really think it's necessary to add any Loctite, but again, it's completely up to you. So next job is removing the lower fender, or the original fender. 2 Torx bolts there, 1 Torx bolt there, and obviously if those clips were in, you would have to remove those as well, which holds your brake line on up here. Same for both sides. 2 there, 1 around the back. Let's get them off. All 6 of these are T30 bits. And again, they are loose. It's been off previously. It's them 3. Number 3, again, keep hold of all of them. To get this off, literally just lift it up, push those 2 behind the brake lines, and bring it through towards the front of the bike. And that's that. And you'll end up with something like this. So attachment points. Again, on both sides. Like I say, I am waiting for the uprights to turn up from KTM. With the issues that they're having at the moment, there's a bit of a delay. Let's get the high fender on. Two clips drilled and in place, ready for the brake lines. The modification bolts, Allen head dome bolts, they are 45mm long as well, just for reference in case you needed to add spacers yourself. Try and find the most appropriate angle Anyway, this is the fender. It's a short one, it's not like the original ones. And all of these ideas or changes that I'm making to this, I'll give him a quick shout out, is due to Ricciardo Yeep. If you go and visit his page, you get loads of good information out of him. He does quite a lot of drone shots and that as well. At the moment he's got a 1290 SAR, which he's also made this modification on, and that's where I sort of got the idea. It was something I was looking at for a while, but after watching his video, yeah, he changed my mind. And got all the links off him, so yeah, I'll just pass them on like I said earlier on in the video. So yeah, it comes with a few brackets. For this bike you use the grey one, and then there is an option to move it forwards or backwards as well. Obviously I've just got it in the one position at the moment, the standard position, which is just like the bracket fits in perfectly, and because of how sort of flexible everything is, I've just held it in with a bit of tape, which I can remove once it's fitted. So that'll go in there between the two brake lines, and then again these are the modifications that I've made. So I bought a bit of bar, ground it down to the size I need. I think on the back it's 20mm in length, them spacers, and on the front they are 25s. You can buy them, you can buy 20mm ones, you don't have to cut them down. It's just I bought 425 ones, and they turned out to be slightly too long, which meant that when I turned the handlebars it caught on the crossbars up here. So we'll fit the back ones first, and then we'll fit the front ones. Right, let's get to it. Spacer on top, bolt and washer through the bottom. Again, just leave everything loose. It'll make it that little bit easier. I had a couple of issues with this mounting phase when I came to do it, and again, like I said earlier, Eddie and his fantastic customer service helped me out. He messaged me back pretty much straight away, because my query was around which holes to use for mounting this specific fender, and he got back to me, drew me a little picture and said that it's the 4 outside holes, so the 2 in the middle aren't necessary. But I'll put a little image on screen now of the emails that we were sending, and how it was he showed me which holes to use. So yeah, I mean, whether or not you think the bracket's pricey, I don't. I think it's a good price. Customer service alone can't really be beaten. Yeah, I can't sing his praises enough. He got the part, got it delivered in a quick time, and here we are. So that's it there. Everything is loose, as you can tell. It is quite a short beak, which is what I wanted to go for now. The standard ones are quite long. They come right out the front of the bike. And then I don't know if you can see just through there, the 4 silver spacers that I fitted. If you lower the spacers at the back, so make them shorter, it pulls the back up and drops the front down, which is what I've needed to do to be able to get the clearance for the crash bars when I turn the handlebars. On the underside, You can see the 4 penny washers. They're definitely needed because the bolts, no matter which bolts you used, whether it's like these ones that I've fitted myself or the ones from High's Court Modifications, they will go straight through the fender, so you do need penny washers. Let's get them tightened up. All done up. Again, if you want to put Loctite on, you can, that's up to you. Bear in mind that you probably need a different type, because you can just about see right at the end of my fingertip there, they are open holes, so the threads will go right through them. I can't quote off the top of my head now which Loctite it is, might be 248, I'm not too sure. The blue one or maybe the green one, which we use for open holes. But yeah, so far so good. I think it looks quite smart. Yeah, I like it. I know a lot of people have their opinions on it, and they are welcome to that, as I am to mine. So yeah, just quickly as well, whilst I've got you here, yeah, the bike's not been on the channel much the past few weeks because I have been busy with work. We've also been going out on the scramblers, me, Dan and Gareth, and I've also been waiting on parts and that because I've been wanting to make some modifications to it. So I'll go through a couple of them with you now, and the first one's being the spoked wheels. They are fitted with it's with the tyres now. Discs are all original, just swapped them straight over. As you can see, the high fender, which you obviously just watched the video for, still in the process of watching a video of. So yeah, if you got this far, thank you for that, I appreciate it. And then the decal kit. Again, might not be to everybody's liking, but it is something that I have always wanted, and it gives it that little bit more paint protection as well. So that's from Dab Rabbit. Really good piece of kit. Definitely recommend a heat gun though when you're fitting it, because some of the edges do come up if you're not in like a heated space like me. Other modifications are the wing mirrors. If you watched from previous videos, you'll remember this one was smashed on the trip down to Monaco. So I got some handlebar ones that are fully adjustable, move them in and out. Shouldn't really bother them, but again, some people don't like doing it. They're fixed to the bark busters with some brackets. And then the next modification is the screen. Changed it for the SAR screen, which is just slightly lower. This bike does get used off-road, hence the modifications. So if I've got the shorter screen on there, I'd be hoping that if I dropped it, I wouldn't snap it. If you snap the screen, you'll probably end up snapping one of these brackets. And again, a previous video where I snapped the brass bar, which went right the way through that, which means you have to take the whole front of the bike to bits, which is a pig of a job. Crash bars, there's a video on that. The bash guard on the underside, that's from AS3 Performance. There's also a video for that, which is with the Heed crash bars. And then the lights themselves. Now these lights are big. They're a lot bigger than I thought they were going to be as well. But I mean, I don't mind that. It gives me a bit more light if I'm riding overnight. These ones are core light LED, and they've been superb so far. no issues with them whatsoever. Connected them up with the Hex Easy Can. Again, pricey bit of kit for what it is, but really good. So, with that being said, we'll just wait now for the fork uprights to turn up, and then we'll crack on with them, and that should be that modification done. One other thing to note as well, if you're at the ABR festival this year down at Ragley Hall, and you want to have a chat about anything, I'll be there with quite a few of my mates. Me, Gareth, Liam, Sean, Matty, and maybe a couple of others will be going. If you see the bike, because it'll probably stand out a bit more now, just nip over and have a crack with us if you want. Like, we have no issues with that. We'll probably have a couple of beers as well, so yeah, feel free to come and ask any questions, or just generally come over and talk with us. It'll be good to see a few people and talk bike. So it's been a couple of days. The parts arrived from KTM finally, and I've fitted them. I haven't bothered showing you how to fit them because it's easy enough. It's just the 3 bolts. They do come in orange. I didn't know whether they came in orange or black, but yeah, mine are orange, but I think it's quite a nice contrast. So I'll get the bike out and I'll show you around it. Overall though, I think it's looking pretty smart. So I thought I'd dog came to check what I was doing. I thought I would nip out on the bike anyway and give it a little run out. I need to do the tyre pressures, but there she is in all her glory. Looking good. Quite like the wrap in the sunlight. That's the high fender conversion. The controversial part of this video. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments, if it's something you like. Again, shout out to Lee and Eddie from High Court Modifications for the advice on the conversion and the Dab Rabbit wrap. Smart. See you on the next one.